Have you ever felt like, no matter how much you desire something with all your heart, the universe just doesn't listen? Maybe you've been asking the wrong way. What if I told you there's a secret language, a specific frequency that reprograms your mind and makes the universe not just hear you, but respond? In this video, you'll discover how to align your thoughts with the invisible field of creation, tap into the power of your subconscious, and finally manifest what you truly want, without struggle, without desperation. We'll talk about mental commands, vibrational codes, and how to turn intention into reality with clarity and precision. Are you tired of waiting for change? Do you feel stuck, repeating patterns you don't understand? Then this video is for you. Stay until the end and learn how to make your mind work with you, not against you. Have you ever tried to manifest something with intense desire, only to watch it slip further away the more you chase it? You visualize, you affirm, you ask, but nothing changes. Why? The answer is often hidden in the gap between what you consciously want and what your subconscious actually believes. This invisible tension creates an energetic contradiction, a mixed signal sent out to the universe. You say you want abundance, but if deep down you feel undeserving, the universe mirrors that inner conflict back to you. Not because it's punishing you, but because it responds not to your words, but to your vibration. Dr. Joseph Murphy, in The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, explains, you will receive a definite response to your mental act, provided you are faithful to your mental image. That means the universe doesn't respond to your desperation or your repetition, it responds to your alignment. When your subconscious is programmed with fear, lack, or unworthiness, it will override any conscious effort to attract what you want. This is why so many people feel stuck. They're speaking one thing out loud but broadcasting something completely different beneath the surface. Here's the truth most people miss. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are at your core. And until that core programming is reworked, manifestation will always feel like swimming upstream. Now that you understand the real issue, let's explore the hidden mechanism behind all attraction, your subconscious mind, and how to gain access to it. Your subconscious mind is not just a passive observer of your life. It is the silent engine behind your thoughts, behaviors, and the reality you experience every day. The key to reprogramming your life begins with understanding how this powerful internal system actually works. From the moment you're born until around the age of 7, your brain operates predominantly in theta brainwave states, the same state that hypnotherapists use to install deep suggestions. In this early phase, everything you hear, feel, and witness is absorbed without resistance. These impressions form the foundation of your core beliefs and behaviors, many of which continue to run unconsciously in adulthood. Dr. Bruce Lipton, in his groundbreaking book The Biology of Belief, emphasizes that up to 95% of our daily lives are dictated by subconscious programs. This means that even if you consciously want to attract love, wealth, or success, your subconscious may be wired with old programs rooted in fear, scarcity, or unworthiness, pushing away the very things you desire. The subconscious does not respond to logic. It responds to repetition, emotion, and imagery. If you've been exposed to years of negative patterns, toxic environments, or limiting cultural beliefs, your subconscious accepted these experiences as truth. And because the subconscious mind always seeks to validate what it knows, it continuously recreates these familiar scenarios in your life, even if they cause pain or frustration. The good news is that these programs are not permanent. Like software, they can be rewritten. But you can't change them by force or willpower alone. You need to communicate with the subconscious in its own language through feeling, imagination, and repetition. This is where reprogramming techniques become essential. When done correctly, they allow you to bypass the critical, analytical filter of the conscious mind and speak directly to the subconscious. This opens the door to deep transformation and the ability to deliberately shape your external world by shifting your inner world first. Most people underestimate the power of the words they say to themselves. But every sentence, every thought you repeat in your mind, is like programming code being typed into the system of your subconscious. When you constantly say things like, "I'm not good enough," or "I'll never have what I want," you are reinforcing those beliefs and instructing the universe to deliver more of the same. Your inner dialogue becomes the script your life follows. This is why self-talk is not just about thinking positively. It's about deliberately choosing your inner language as a way of giving clear, repeated commands to your subconscious and the universe. Neuroscience supports this idea. When you engage in affirmations or mantras, especially those spoken with emotion, the brain begins to create new neural pathways. Over time, these pathways become stronger, eventually replacing the old, limiting beliefs. But here's the key. It's not enough to just repeat words. The subconscious responds to emotion, imagery, and repetition. If you say, "I am wealthy," while feeling doubt or scarcity, the emotional signal overrides the words. The subconscious takes the emotion as the true message. That's why speaking to the universe isn't just about the phrases you use, it's about how deeply you believe and feel them. To begin reprogramming, choose statements that feel believable yet expansive. Instead of, "I am rich," if it feels fake, try, "I am open to receiving more abundance every day." Repeat it with presence. Feel it. Visualize it. The more often you do this, the more your subconscious aligns with that frequency, and that frequency is what the universe echoes back to you. When you understand this, you stop being a victim of your thoughts. You become the author of them. And with that shift, your reality begins to follow your command. One of the most overlooked elements in the process of reprogramming the mind and speaking to the universe is emotional alignment. It's not just about thinking positive thoughts or repeating affirmations. Your emotional state must be congruent with the reality you wish to manifest. When your emotions contradict your desires, you're sending mixed signals to the universe, which delays or even blocks manifestation. Emotions are energy in motion. They are the direct language your subconscious uses to interpret your reality. For example, you might say, "I am wealthy," but if you feel anxious every time you look at your bank account, the emotion of scarcity overrides the affirmation. The subconscious doesn't follow what you say, it follows what you feel. That's why alignment is critical. To align emotionally, you must become emotionally fluent in the reality you want. If your goal is love, then feel love. If your goal is abundance, then cultivate gratitude and generosity. This doesn't mean you fake it. It means you generate the emotion deliberately through visualization, inner dialogue, and sensory immersion until it becomes familiar and natural. Dr. Joe Dispenza, in his book Becoming Supernatural, explains this beautifully. The moment you begin to feel abundant and worthy, you are generating wealth. His research shows that when the brain and heart are coherent, meaning your thoughts and feelings are aligned, your energy becomes magnetically attractive. So how do you do it? Start small. Spend 5 minutes every day in emotional rehearsal. Close your eyes, breathe slowly, and feel as if your desire is already fulfilled. Not just imagine it, feel it in your body. What would joy feel like in your chest? What does confidence feel like in your posture? This emotional alignment acts as a signal to your subconscious that this is your new reality, and the universe responds accordingly. The clearer your emotional signal, the stronger your manifestations. When your feelings match your intentions, you're no longer chasing, you're attracting. When you begin to see yourself as complete, as already having within you everything you need, something extraordinary happens. You stop seeking validation. You stop chasing. You start attracting. That shift in energy, from lack to abundance, is one of the most powerful frequencies you can emit. The law of attraction responds not to your words, but to your vibration. If your vibration is rooted in self-doubt, scarcity, or the need for approval, then even if you speak affirmations daily, the results will be minimal. However, when your energy vibrates with self-worth, inner peace, and certainty, the universe aligns accordingly. People, situations, and opportunities gravitate toward those who know their value without having to prove it. This is not arrogance. This is not ego. True self-worth is quiet. It doesn't beg. It doesn't boast. It simply is. It's the unshakable presence that says, I know who I am and I am enough. When that becomes your baseline, manifestation becomes effortless. Neville Goddard once said, change your conception of yourself and you will automatically change the world in which you live. That change begins with recognizing your own wholeness. You are not broken. You do not need to become someone else to be loved, chosen, or successful. You only need to remember who you truly are. Confidence is magnetic. But authenticity is even more powerful. When you are grounded in your truth, unattached to external outcomes, and committed to your own peace, you naturally draw into your life the people and experiences that resonate with that same level of energy. One of the most misunderstood concepts in the law of attraction is the energetic difference between desire and desperation. Wanting something is natural. It's the spark that sets manifestation in motion. But when that want is soaked in desperation, the energy repels rather than attracts. Why? Because desperation screams lack. It signals to the universe that you don't believe you already have what you desire or that it's even possible. It places your goals out of reach, as if they're always somewhere in the future. Confidence, on the other hand, is magnetic. When you desire something but remain confident and grounded, you project certainty, belief, and alignment. The universe responds to that certainty with synchronicity. This doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect, but rather holding an inner conviction that what you seek is already yours in the energetic realm. Imagine two people applying for the same opportunity. One is desperate, checking their phone every 2 minutes, doubting their worth, fearing rejection. The other knows their value, sends out their intention, and continues living fully. The confident one is often the one who receives, not because they are luckier, but because they are aligned. Your job is not to chase but to calibrate. Replace the question, when will it happen, with, how can I feel aligned with it now? This shift in energy changes everything. From trying to force reality, you move into the space of allowing, where miracles unfold naturally. As Neville Goddard wrote in Feeling is the Secret, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Not the hope, not the craving, but the feeling of already having it. When you live from that place, you stop sending mixed signals to the universe, and your manifestations start arriving with clarity and speed. Many people associate manifestation with hard work, sacrifice, and hustle. They believe that only through relentless effort and constant action will they be able to receive what they desire. But this belief, although common, is deeply flawed. The truth is that the universe responds not to how hard you try, but to how aligned you are. Effort, when rooted in anxiety or lack, creates resistance. It emits a signal of doubt, a frequency of struggle. And the universe reflects this energy back to you. You may be acting, but your actions are out of sync with the vibration of your desire. True manifestation occurs in flow. Flow is the state where your energy is clean, your focus is relaxed, and your actions feel natural. It's not laziness, it's alignment. You're no longer chasing, you're allowing. And when you allow, life begins to move in your favor. This is why people often say, things come when you least expect them. It's not about timing, it's about energy. When you let go of the obsession and enter the present moment fully, you open space for the universe to deliver. A passage from Ask and It Is Given by Esther and Jerry Hicks captures this idea. When you are feeling joy, you are in perfect alignment with the stream of source energy. In joy, you stop striving. You simply become the magnet. To transition from force to flow, you need to observe your motives. Are you taking action from fear or inspiration? Are you moving because you trust or because you're trying to control? When you enter the space of inspired action, everything shifts. You say less but mean more. You move slower but reach faster. You do less but attract more. Flow is the art of aligning your vibration before moving your body. And once you master that, you become a channel for miracles. Imagine a river. When you let it flow naturally, it moves with grace, finds its way around obstacles, and reaches its destination with no resistance. But when you try to dam it, force it, or push it against its course, chaos ensues. The same principle applies to manifestation. When your energy is aligned, when your intentions are clear and your inner world is at peace, manifestation becomes effortless. Not because you are idle, but because you are in sync with the rhythm of the universe. Manifestation is not about constantly doing, chasing, or obsessing. It is about becoming the version of yourself that naturally attracts what you desire. That version of you does not beg, stress, or strive. Instead, it feels, envisions, aligns, and allows. It takes inspired action without desperation. It trusts in divine timing, even when the evidence has not yet shown up in the physical world. When you let go of the need to control every outcome, you create space for miracles. You begin to see synchronicities. People show up. Opportunities appear. Things begin to align not because you forced them, but because your frequency became a match for them. This is what the effortless flow of manifestation is all about. It is not passive. It is deeply powerful. It is the art of doing less and receiving more because you have become magnetic to what you once chased. This is where many get it wrong. They confuse hustle with alignment. But aligned energy is more powerful than any amount of effort rooted in lack. When your mind is clear, when your heart is open, and when your actions are guided by intuition, everything changes. This is how you speak directly to the universe. Not with words, but with vibration. With energy. With presence. Let go of control. Let go of the struggle. Let go of the idea that it has to be hard. You were never meant to fight for what is already yours by divine right. You only need to become still enough to receive it. Imagine walking through life with a giant mirror in front of you. Everything you see, every experience you have, every person you attract is not random. It's a reflection. But not of your actions alone. It's a reflection of your internal world, your beliefs, your emotions, your thoughts, and your expectations. This is what's known as the mirror effect in the realm of manifestation and the law of attraction. The universe is not responding to what you say you want. It's responding to who you are being at your core. If you carry feelings of unworthiness, even unconsciously, you might find yourself repeatedly in situations that reinforce that belief. If you believe you are abundant and loved, even before the evidence shows up, the external world begins to align with that internal reality. Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." This idea speaks directly to the mirror principle. You are not a passive observer in this universe. You are a co-creator, and the universe is simply reflecting your vibration back to you in the form of experiences, relationships, and outcomes. So how do you use this principle to your advantage? You must become radically honest with yourself. What patterns are showing up again and again in your life? Are you experiencing lack, betrayal, rejection, or stagnation? Instead of blaming circumstances, look inward. Ask, what belief, emotion, or fear is being reflected back to me? When you begin to heal the inner world, the outer world follows. Change your energy and you change what the mirror reflects. Start affirming what you want to see. Visualize not just the outcome, but the feeling of having already become the version of you who receives it. The mirror cannot reflect a reality you don't first embody. This is not about toxic positivity or forcing yourself to be happy all the time. It's about becoming deeply self-aware and intentional. When your internal reality becomes a match for your desires, the mirror of the universe cannot help but respond. One of the most profound principles in the law of attraction is the mirror effect. The world around you is not just something that happens to you. It is something that reflects you. Your beliefs, your energy, your emotions, and even your unconscious patterns are mirrored back through the people you meet, the opportunities you attract, and the obstacles you face. When you harbor inner conflict, the external world will present chaos. If you carry unworthiness within, you will encounter rejection or lack. But when you shift internally, the external world begins to transform without you needing to chase or control. This is not philosophy. It is energetic reality. As Neville Goddard wrote in Feeling is the Secret, the world is a mirror, forever reflecting what you are doing, within yourself. To use the mirror effect consciously, you must look at your life not with judgment, but with curiosity. What is the universe showing you about yourself through your current circumstances? Instead of reacting to situations, start asking, what is this revealing about my internal state? This is where true power begins. When you realize that you are not a victim of life, but the projector of it, everything changes. You are not attracting from what you want. You are attracting from what you are. So the real work is not to fix the outside. The real work is to become the version of you who already has what you seek. The version that feels peace instead of urgency, trust instead of fear, abundance instead of desperation. And as that shift happens inside, the mirror reflects something entirely new. At the core of reality, beyond what your eyes can see and your hands can touch, lies a quantum field of infinite possibilities. This is not a metaphor or spiritual guesswork. This is what quantum physics reveals, that the universe, at its most fundamental level, is not made of matter, but of energy and probabilities. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every belief you carry is not just internal noise. It is a broadcast. A signal that interacts with this vast quantum field. This means that your inner world is not separate from the outer world. The universe is not responding to what you say you want. It is responding to who you are, the vibration you emit consistently. If your frequency is aligned with lack, fear, or desperation, the quantum field echoes that back. But when your vibration matches the frequency of love, abundance, gratitude, or confidence, new paths emerge instantly, sometimes in ways that defy logic. Dr. Joe Dispenza explains in his book Becoming Supernatural that when we shift our internal state before the physical evidence appears, we are no longer victims of cause and effect. We become creators living by the quantum model, where our energy causes effects in the world. According to him, the quantum field responds not to what we want, it responds to who we are being. So how do you access this field consciously? Through elevated emotions and clear intentions. When you combine a heartfelt emotion like joy or gratitude with a mental image of what you desire, you create a magnetic force in the field. This is how instant manifestation becomes possible. The key is coherence, the alignment of your brain, your heart, and your intention. You do not have to force reality to change. You only need to step into the version of yourself who already lives in that desired outcome. The moment you truly feel it, not pretend, but truly become it, the universe has no choice but to reflect that back. Are you ready to live from the field, not the form? To be the signal instead of the seeker? To manifest effectively, you must vibrate in harmony with what you desire. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, is sending out a signal. The universe is not responding to your words or your actions, it's responding to the energy behind them. That energy is your vibration. Imagine your desire as a radio station. To receive its broadcast, you must tune into the same frequency. You can't want love while vibrating in fear of rejection. You can't desire abundance while feeling unworthy or anxious about money. The frequencies don't match, and when there's no match, manifestation doesn't occur. So how do you align vibrationally? First, become emotionally aware. Pay attention to how you feel when you think about what you want. Does it bring excitement, or does it trigger doubt and resistance? Those subtle feelings are indicators of your energetic state. You must shift your inner state until the desire feels natural, believable, and already on its way. Techniques like visualization, scripting, or even spending time in nature can help recalibrate your frequency. But the most powerful tool is consistency. Repeatedly choosing thoughts that align with your desire builds a stable vibrational field around it. Over time, that field becomes magnetic. The universe is not withholding anything from you. It is simply matching your energy. As Neville Goddard wrote in Feeling is the Secret, you are already that which you want to be, and your refusal to believe this is the only reason you do not see it. The key is not chasing but tuning in. Every human being is born with a built-in guidance system that often goes unnoticed or is misunderstood. This system is not mechanical or logical in the traditional sense. It is emotional. Your emotions are your most powerful internal compass, pointing you in the direction of your alignment or misalignment with the desires you have placed into the universe. When you feel joy, enthusiasm, or peace, these emotions are not just feelings, they are signals. They indicate that your thoughts and beliefs in that moment are in harmony with the energy of your desires. You are tuned to the same frequency as what you are trying to manifest. On the other hand, feelings of anxiety, doubt, or frustration suggest that your current mental state is working against your manifestation. Your inner being knows the path, and your emotions tell you whether you're on or off that path. This emotional guidance system is mentioned frequently in Abraham Hicks' teachings. According to Ask and It Is Given, the better you feel, the more you are allowing your desires to come into your experience. It's not about forcing yourself to think positively, but about learning to interpret your emotions as feedback, and gently pivoting your focus toward thoughts that feel better and better. Understanding this concept empowers you to make daily decisions not based on logic alone, but based on how they make you feel emotionally. It encourages you to care more about feeling good than being right, to prioritize peace over control, and joy over struggle. By aligning with emotions that feel expansive, you naturally begin to dissolve resistance. This opens the channel between your current self and your desired reality. In essence, your emotions are not just indicators of your current state, they are the creative fuel that shapes your future. There is a subtle yet powerful difference between taking action that is inspired and taking action that is forced. Inspired action flows naturally. It feels exciting, effortless, and aligned. It often comes after moments of clarity, peace, or high emotional frequency. You feel pulled by an inner knowing rather than pushed by fear, doubt, or urgency. On the other hand, forced effort often stems from a place of anxiety or desperation. It feels heavy, frustrating, and disconnected. Even if it appears productive, it usually lacks momentum and fulfillment. Inspired action arises when your energy matches the reality you want to create. It is not necessarily logical or linear. Sometimes it's a sudden idea to call someone, take a walk, start a project, or shift your focus. It can be quiet, soft, and easy to miss if you're too caught up in mental noise. That's why it's essential to cultivate stillness and presence so you can hear the subtle signals of your intuition. The universe communicates through inspiration. When your thoughts, emotions, and vibration are aligned, you become receptive to those nudges. You start seeing synchronicities, meeting the right people, and finding doors opening without effort. Abraham Hicks emphasizes that, when you are in vibrational alignment with what you want, the inspired path is revealed to you. This doesn't mean you sit and wait, but rather that your actions come from clarity and trust, not stress and control. Trust is a key element. Inspired action often doesn't come with guarantees or step-by-step instructions. It asks for faith. But when you follow that inner guidance, it feels fulfilling regardless of the outcome. It becomes a co-creation with the universe, where your role is to stay aligned and act from alignment, not pressure. The more you release the need to force things, the more you make room for inspiration to guide you. From this state, life becomes a dance of intuition and trust rather than a race of hustle and control. Belief is the cornerstone of manifestation. Without belief, intention is weak, action feels forced, and alignment becomes impossible. When you believe in your ability to create your reality, you become a channel through which the energy of the universe flows effortlessly. This belief does not mean blind optimism. It means knowing, with unshakable certainty, that what you desire is already making its way to you. Your subconscious cannot distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. This is why belief is so powerful. When you believe deeply, your subconscious treats your desire as a current reality. It adjusts your energy, your emotions, and even your physical behavior to reflect this internal truth. Suddenly, you speak, act, and feel as if you already have what you want. And that changes everything. Neville Goddard, in his book The Power of Awareness, said, "Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled." This is not just a technique, it is a way of being. When you believe, you don't hope, you don't wait anxiously. You walk through your day with the confidence of someone who knows the outcome is already decided. But here's the key: belief must be felt, not just stated. Repeating affirmations without conviction will not move energy. You must feel it in your body. You must close your eyes and see it. You must speak as though it is done. If your belief is shaky, it is not a sign of failure. It is a signal to deepen your inner work. Question the doubts, reprogram the limiting beliefs, and surround yourself with energy that uplifts. Use meditation, visualization, scripting, and environment design to reinforce your belief until it becomes second nature. When belief becomes your foundation, your energy becomes magnetic. You will no longer need to chase. What you desire will begin to show up in ways that defy logic. Because belief is not just mental. It is energetic. And the universe always responds to your dominant energy. By now, you've realized that your mind is not just a receiver of reality, but a powerful transmitter. The universe is not ignoring you. It's always responding. The question is, what are you transmitting? When you take control of your inner world, when you reprogram the subconscious with precision, emotion, and intention, the universe mirrors it back with astonishing clarity. Everything begins within. The thoughts you nurture, the beliefs you hold, the words you speak, and the emotions you feel are your personal language to the cosmos. This video wasn't just about techniques. It was a guide to remembering who you really are. A creator. A powerful being who can shape circumstances, call in opportunities, and co-create with the unseen forces that govern all things. When you choose your beliefs with awareness, speak your desires with trust, and act in alignment with your vision, you don't chase because what is yours flows to you. And what once seemed distant begins to arrive, almost effortlessly. So the question remains, are you ready to stop asking and start aligning? Are you ready to move from hoping to knowing? You now hold the tools. Use them daily. Speak with clarity. Feel with certainty. Act with confidence. And watch how the universe listens, then answers.